is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Got it locked and loaded to the Sunday, May 17th edition of the Press Box. Guardian Company right up until 1 p.m. Statboy will be joining us in short order. On this Sunday edition, Mega will be joining us in a little bit. And we got lots to talk about on this edition of the Press Box. And don't forget, the Press Box brought to you by the following sponsors. Couldn't do it without them. You know who I'm talking about. If you want to play and win all season long, multiple ways to play, multiple ways to win, live betting, single game bets, parlays, teasers, prop bets, you name it. They've got it covered for you all season long, and they're getting ready to do big things coming up in the NFL season. The Island Game. The game you know, the friends you trust. And the Island Game always reminds you to play responsibly. Log on right now, check out the website, check out the ways to play and the ways to win. Simply log on to theislandgame.com. Also being brought to you by KFC Nassau. Let them do the cooking for you today. From their kitchen to yours, it's always finger-licking good. Check them out on the buckets. Check them out on the chicken sandwiches. And listen, if you want a chicken sandwich, you want to get a chicken sandwich from someone who specializes in chicken. So trust the Colonel when it comes to your finger-licking chicken sandwiches, all right? Available for you at all KFC Nassau locations where it's always finger-licking good. Also being brought to you by Green Parrot and Margaritaville, PI. Two great spots to catch all the action all the time. Be sure to check them out on their beer bucket specials, their wing specials, their menu specials, and of course their weekly events going on, live bands and all your sports action, NBA, NHL playoffs, as well as Major League Baseball. Also being brought to you by Harborside Marine. Listen, if you need anything for your boat, if you're getting into that nautical field, if you want to spruce up your boat, if you want to upgrade your boat, they've got all the accessories for it, all right? Your cushions, your coolers, your reels, your rods, your engines as well. And they do the installations of the outboard engines as well. So be sure to check them out on all of that, as well as your full line of snorkels, fins, wetsuits, you name it. Harborside Marine has got it covered for you, all right? So be sure to check them out as well. Big up to all my sponsors. Couldn't do it without them. We got Statboy in the building yet? Statboy zoomed in yet? All right, we'll have to. We've got to put an APB out on Statboy, you know. I don't know. Oh, Statboy.
Right here. It was me to get into the Zoom link. There's no need for an APB, all right? Blame Zoom. I was right here waiting.
You getting a big boy? Now, I didn't know if he was out late last night with your boys. I got to make sure.
You know I've been on lockdown, man. This is the Zoom link. It's taking hella long.
But we got lots to talk about. We got to start off with Major League Baseball, then we'll get to the NBA. And then, in the second hour, we'll talk some more, NFL. And we got lots of NFL to talk about as well. So it'll be a good discussion today. And like I said, the emphasis, obviously, the NBA playoffs. Because that's a criteria. We've got the Western Conference Finals lined up, the Oklahoma City Thunder and the San Antonio Spurs.
We been calling it all year.
Been calling it all year, called it from the break. I can't believe I enjoy watching the Spurs more than I enjoy watching my Lakers. But what I'm going to enjoy about my Lakers is the off-season. Oh, yes. What a glorious time in La La La.
Should it go how it's supposed to go? Yes.
Should it go how it's supposed to go? Correct. And then NFL lots to talk about as well, too. We got some potential off-season moves still coming up now, like the third tier of free agency prior to training camp, and then what we might see after training camp. Some of the rumors, your June 1st cuts as well. We'll talk all of that. That's all coming up.
Around the corner.
What's that?
I said all that's around the corner, like late signings and all that.
Yeah, and some of those late signings are key in the NFL, and that's what I want to look at too. Sometimes you sign a guy now, and sometimes you sign a guy a little bit later on, and it helps your team in the long run, and you don't pay attention to it now. But some of these are the key moves. Like I'm hearing a potential Najee Harris to the Cowboys as backup to Javonte Williams. Now that right there,
I think that would be if Najee. I think that would be a split backfield, but yeah.
No, and if Najee, because of the injuries, is willing to accept that backup role, you know what I mean? Even better contractually. But if something does happen to Javonte, Najee Harris is a plug-and-play thumper.
It reminds me
offense.
It reminds me of the signing the Vikings made, which we'll touch more on, but they actually picked up Juwan Jennings.
That was sneaky good under the radar, too. We'll talk about that in a second. Now, I didn't see that coming, but I thought that was a very good move, too. Yeah, and I think that could brace them for the departure of Addison in the offseason, because I think Addison is playing in his final year of his rookie deal, and there might not be money to go around in Minnesota for him. He may be – I hear the 49ers are in love with this kid.
They might have to go because Jefferson is going to take all the money.
And we're going to talk about two unrestricted free agents kind of out there, kind of in no man's land because of their attitude and reputation. But the Washington Redskins are courting not only Stephon Diggs, but Brandon Ayuk. So we'll talk about that coming up in the 12 o'clock hour as well. But right now, let's pivot to baseball. And I'll be honest with you, starting off with baseball, Stat Boy, I still think it's anybody's race. I think it's too early to call. Because last week the Yankees was way up doing well after a bad week, and now it's like roller coaster. And it's not just the Yankees. I'm looking at a lot of teams, and the weekly series are getting to people. Yankees and the Rays are still the cream of the crop in the East. The Cleveland Guardians in the Central, but the surprising Chicago White Sox are right there. Now this division is total garbage because remember last week Kansas City was in second place. Now they're in last place a week later.
And I think they were in last or they were in fourth, but the record wasn't as bad. Like the separation, I think, is what's the biggest jump. I can't recall, though. I think you could be correct.
The A's still holding strong out there in the West.
That division is worse than the Central, believe it or not. That right now as it stands, that division is worse. It's horrible to look at.
I'm surprised. I think I'm surprised because Kansas City's division, that AL Central is absolute garbage, but the West isn't. It's just as bad almost.
The records say that they're worse too. I mean, the Angels are 16-30, the Astros are 19-28, Rangers 21-24.
A lot of
Mariners
parity
below 500.
A lot of parity in that Western division as far as the game separation, though. A lot of teams tied up at 2 games back, then Houston at 5. Then the Angels at 7.5 back. Now let's look at the National League. And Mega will be chiming in a minute, so I'll let him get caught up. But his Braves look like they want to run away with the National League East.
And they're doing everything it takes to do that. They're stocking the league. And it's all about these. That's all you got to do. Win 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4, and that's how you separate from teams. And the occasional sweeps, and you'll be just fine. They look very good right now.
Well, Philadelphia's righted the ship at 23-23, so don't sleep on that. I think Washington, Miami, and the Mets are all in free fall mode, and they're going to just be paying for the bottom of the division the rest of the way. I don't see any one of them making a run the way things are right now.
Nor do I.
Then you go to the National League Central. You got the Chicago Cubs playing a high brand of baseball, 29-17 all season long. Milwaukee Brewers have righted the ship. They're 26-17, and the Cardinals, always a factor in that division, quietly 27-18, only a game and a half back. Pittsburgh starting to free fall. So is Cincinnati, but this still is one of the tougher divisions in baseball.
I wouldn't even necessarily say free fall yet because every team in that division is above 500.
I was just going to say everybody's 500, though. I got to give you that.
Everybody's over 500. The toughest division still.
And then you go out to the West Coast. Pearly's Dodgers, half game lead over the Padres. Dodgers 28-18, Padres 18. Then it cools off a little bit. The Diamondbacks 6 games back at 21-23. Giants 19 and 27, 9 game back, and Colorado 18 and 28, 10 games back. I think you could say San Francisco and Colorado are in a free fall mode. Arizona still remains to be seen. Now, if you look over to the Yankees, though, big red flag, though, Fried on the IR.
Well, yes, but he will avoid. He avoided any major ligament damage, and surgery is not a necessity. So we got a huge break. Huge break.
Yeah, but we still
In
15
the
days
meantime,
disabled.
without him, it's going to be a little bit rough. But I'm just glad we're going to be able to have him, down the line. That's the most important thing to me.
Yeah, Snell sent for surgery. Are they hopeful for a 26 return? So,
Yeah.
keep an eye on that
We
as well.
have breaking NBA news, by the way.
What is?
I know we weren't going to get to NBA just yet, but Shea Gilgeous-Alexander has won his second consecutive MVP.
Well, thank you for breaking the news. Signed up from Shams Charania saying that he was about to be named, but now that you in true stat boy fashion,
Well, I mean, what am I on the show for? My apologies.
you
I
living up
couldn't
to your
read
name. I'm
mind.
not mad at you at all, bro. I'm not mad at you
Yeah.
at all.
He's the 14th player to win back-to-back MVPs. He collects his second. He averaged 31 points a game, 4 assists or 4 rebounds and 5 assists, and he shot 55% again. He's run away with the MVP again. So
We'll break it down coming up, after the break when we get into basketball. But good stuff there, stat boy. Way to get that breaking news in. Altuve to have an MRI after excellent Astros win early. More injuries for Jose Altuve. Could this be the downside of his career now, stat boy?
I feel it
One
is.
song?
I feel it is. I do.
I mean, he's put out, man, over the years. He's been a heck of a player, being such a little guy, too. I'm not mad at him at all.
Me neither. And he maximized his career with 2 World Series, even though one of them is fraudulent and one of his MVPs is fraudulent. He still was a great, for his size, most powerful hitters I ever seen. A great infielder. I think he was a second baseman or a shortstop at one point. Yeah, he was solid, but I think that time has come. The Astros run is over, and thank God, because I hated it.
All right, let's get to some more news. Garrett Cole nearing a return. And here's the impressive thing. Reached 99.6 miles per hour with the 4-seam fastball.
Let's go. Come on now.
All right, Garrett Cole reached 99.6 miles per hour with his 4-seam fastball as he threw 86 pitches over 5 1/3 innings for a AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre against the Syracuse Mets on Saturday night, and likely his next to last minor league injury rehabilitation start before rejoining the New York Yankees. Returning from consecutive elbow surgeries on March 11, 2025, Cole threw reconstructive elbow surgery on March 11, 2025. Cole threw 56 pitches for strikes and averaged 97 miles per hour with his fastball. Some good velocity tonight, some good locations, and some good quick innings and some innings that tested, as Cole said. I'm just getting stronger and stronger every outing. Now, that's good news for the Yankees.
Very good news.
I'm healthy. You get Fried healthy. You get Rondon back, buddy. The starters
We're going to be good.
are legit. Get Bednar healthy in the dugout, in the bullpen. Get him some help in that bullpen. The Yankees could be contenders. I think the bats will carry them as they need to go.
Bats just need to wake up a little bit more. That's all that's been annoying me recently. But yeah, I think our pitching will, when they're on, they're on. So I'm still excited and hopeful for my Yankees this year. Definitely.
All right, red flag for the Texas Rangers. Texas Rangers all-star lineup yesterday, and now again today. Back spasms could be a back issue.
Oh, that's rough.
With Corey Seager.
And who could have been called up right now?
And he's in an 0 for 27 slump, so I think that explains everything in regards to the poor performance at the plate. He's fighting through a back injury.
If our boy didn't get hurt, he could have been called up. Sebastian Walcott. But I think with his elbow, so
he's had elbow surgery. He won't be back until later on this year as well, too.
Yeah, but he would have been called up right now.
He would have, and I don't think Seager would have got that job back either.
Oh, absolutely not.
All right, so we gotta look at Sebastian Walcott. Not to be confused with any other Sebastian.
Yeah. This is Walcott.
I still keep an eye on him in that Texas Ranger pipeline. I think as soon as that elbow surgery is done, they deem it a success, which they've done so far already. They're pleased with his rehab. I think you're going to see when he cracks in, I think he might get that cup of coffee next year because of the injury.
I'm really
I thought he
thinking
was
so.
going to get the cup of coffee this year, but
And he'll only be 21.
correct.
Crazy too.
And of course, there's always the trade value. If they ever wanted to have like an all Bahamian infield in New York, Jazz at short. I mean, Sebastian Short, Jazz
I'd
at
like
second.
that. I would like that. I would not mind that at all.
That would be a beautiful thing.
100%.
You know?
Big boys up there in the Bronx. I would love that. I would try to come to games as much as I can.
All right, let's check out the games on tap for today. In Major League Baseball, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 big games on tap in Major League Baseball today.
There you go.
Early games starting at 12 o'clock, Marlins and the Rays at 12:15, Orioles and the Nationals at 5, Red Sox and the Braves at 1:35, Phillies and the Pirates at 1:35, Reds and Guardians, Yankees and Mets at 1:40, Blue Jays, Tigers 1:40, Cubs and White Sox at 2:10, Brewers and Twins at 2:10, Rangers and Astros 2:10, Royals and Cardinals 2:15, Diamondbacks and Rockies at 3:10, Giants at 4 and the Athletics at 4:05, Dodgers and the Angels at 4:07, and the nightcap, the Padres at the Mariners, 7:20 on NBC Peacock. So you got a full 15-game slate today, starting early with Major League Baseball.
It's going to be awesome.
Ample ways to play and win with the Island game. Be sure to check them out on their prop bets, their in-game bets, their player bets as well. Simply log on to theislandgame.com. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Flip side of the break, Startboy and I will be back. Mega joining us in short order as well. And we'll continue the Sunday, May 17th edition of the Press Box, which continues right after this.
KFC has a bold move, introducing the all-new Barbecue Rap Star. We're talking a juicy chicken breast filet, fried to golden crisp perfection, covered in sweet and smoky barbecue sauce, topped with cheese, then wrapped in a delicious toasted tortilla with flavor in every bite. Go spicy or keep it original. Either way, it's a star for a reason. The new Barbecue Rap Star is the star of the menu at KFC Nassau. Get yours today at any KFC Nassau location.
At Star General, you can go gold. Comprehensive car insurance covers loss or damage from accidents, fire, theft, and third-party liability. But the Gold package gives you increased coverage for rental car and windscreen, personal accident, medical benefits, deductible waiver, and 24-hour roadside assistance where available. Our Star General Gold package also gives you up to $2,500 for accidental damage to a rental car anywhere in the Bahamas. Go gold with Star General. Insurance made simple.
Play with Island Games. We making dreams come true. Play with Island Games. We paying more out to you. Don't mind the noise in the market. You getting cash in your pocket. Spicy and Quincy is tradition. So when you play Island Games, we putting Bahamians first. Guaranteed Island Games. We like them other jokers. We've been here from the start. From the bike to computer. Island Games. We gonna make your dreams come true. We playing with Island Games.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
back at you on the Sunday May 15th edition of the Press Box. By the Island Game, KFC Nassau, Green Parrot, Margaritaville, PA, Harborside Marine. We're into the first hour of the show. 11:21 a.m. is the time. Yours truly, Nordini Company, right up until 1 p.m. Stat Boy is in the building. Us in short order, Mr. Producer. Keep an eye out for Mega. He should be joining us in short order. But let's pivot to the NBA like we discussed earlier. And it is official. SGA has been named MVP. Let's go to that clip right now from Shams Charania there, Mr. Producer. Let's get that out of the way. But say it there, Stat Boy.
Hey, Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah. Shea Alexander. Yeah. Baby Kobe right there with his MVP.
You can't say Gilgeous?
No, the way it's Shea. Anyway, I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
And with Shams Charania right now, courtesy of the NBA.
Brady Scott, Gary Streisky back with you on SportsCenter. Breaking news out of the NBA this morning. Our senior NBA insider, Shams Charania, joining us. Shams, what do you have?
Multiple sources tell me this morning that Oklahoma Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been voted as the NBA's most valuable player. This means he's won back-to-back MVP awards. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander becomes the 14th player in league history to win consecutive MVP awards. SGA led OKC to 64 wins, the most in the NBA, the number one Western Conference, despite the third most missed games due to injury for any team in the NBA. And the accomplishments for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander are long. The first guard averaged 30 points and 55% shooting in a season in NBA history. Joined Michael Jordan as the only player to average 30 points, 5 assists, 50% shooting in 4 consecutive seasons. He did not score below 20 points in any game, Randy. All out, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander takes home the MVP award ahead of facing the San Antonio Spurs in the Western Conference Finals. Among 2-8 Titans in the NBA this year, and he's going to face one of the runner-ups for this award in Victor Wembanyama.
Very interesting that Shams brought up the Spurs at the end there, Stat Boy. Victor Wembanyama and crew. They are their opponents in the Western Conference Finals. And I think it's going to make out to be a great Western Conference Final. Probably the two best players in the game going at it right now.
I would have to agree with that. And the two best teams in the league going at it. And this is going to be the series with two teams with 62-plus wins since the 98 Finals, which had the Utah Jazz and Chicago Bulls, both 62-plus win teams. Series. This is really going to be the finals.
This should be the finals. All right, let's pivot real quick to Kendrick Perkins' take on Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs. And then, of course, we'll come back, and I got a piece from Stephen A. Smith looking at the Western Conference, the Thunder and the Spurs. But let's just have a look. I want to take nothing away from Shai and his MVP, but I cannot say that Wemby didn't deserve to get some mention or honorable mention. And I do agree with Perkins. He might be the best player in the game. Let's get to that clip then, Mr. Producer.
Perk, last night after the game, you took to X and said this of Wemby, already the greatest defender that I have seen. Just saying. So defend your claim to those people who do not see what you see.
Well, one, first of all, good morning. Second of all, he's already the most dominant player in the game of basketball. And when you think of dominant players, you think of them being dominant offensively, paint points, snatching the screws out the rim. But what he's doing defensively, I have never seen this. I believe he had 3 blocks last night. It fell in. The way he anchors that defense and is able to cover up space, I've never seen nothing like it. On top of that, he has so much of a presence in the middle that he allows his good players to be able to apply a huge amount of pressure. So if you're Minnesota or you're any opponent playing against the San Antonio Spurs, you have to be ready to take tough, contested threes and 2-point shots out the paint because you're not driving to the basket on him. He's already the best shot blocker I've seen, but it's a special thing when you're able to go up and challenge a shot and use the other hand wide in air to take away passes. I have never seen anything like that in my entire basketball life.
I'm thinking twice about throwing up those shots.
Definitely a game changer. I think we can agree on might be the premier game changer in the game today, as far as around the rim and shot blocking. Very good defensively, but I think the complete package is there as well too.
His impact on the game is almost getting similar to
and defensively
to Shaq in the 2000s. That's the comparison when I think what Perk said about dominance. Like, you can't drive in the paint; they're gonna block your shot. You can't guard these guys in the paint. Even dudes who are his same height can't guard him because his skill set is so great. And then on top of that, like when you look at the Spurs team, if you think of it, I'm not comparing them to these two. I'm just saying, but they're not as good as these two. But I'll say this. Wemby and Stephon Castle gives me a lot of Shaq and Kobe vibes. I don't know why, but they really do.
Excuse me, who been talking about Castle as a catalyst for that first
he certainly is, because he can go any night. He's a UConn guard. He's so skilled. He's been playing pro-style ball since college, and now on like any night when Wemby's not scoring the rock as much, Castle will go and get 32, 11,
Castle
and
was
10.
Lights out the other night.
Triple doubles. He'll grab triple doubles. He will play great defense on the perimeter.
But I'm telling you something. The star of that Spurs team in the future is Ron Harper Jr. And not Ron Harper Jr., Dylan Harper.
Dylan Harper, yes.
Taking nothing away from Ron Harper Jr., who played his way into that Celtics rotation, got hurt, but did a great job there. But Dylan Harper Jr. is an absolute little freak.
He is.
Absolute freak in the making. Have you seen some of the stuff that this kid has done?
This is not even to mention Vassell, who will be on the wings with him for years to come as well, who is another solid. Like, this entire team has solid players. Like,
I look at it and I'm very excited for this Western Conference Final. One, you know how I feel about Shea. I call him Baby Kobe. I call him Baby Jordan. I look at the post-up game. Does he not emulate Kobe to a T with that turnaround jumper?
Yes, and then Kobe, who emulated Jordan. So
correct. To me,
well.
To me, this is like the grandson. I honestly look at it and I say, wow, this is like another.
And there have been a lot of guys.
Watch another passing to the guard, no pun intended, but those guys did it to a level back to the bucket. All of them have a great back to the bucket game, turnaround game, and they all were mid-range assassins, scoring wise.
The only thing I see that Shea doesn't do as crazy as Kobe and Jordan is drive to the rim with those dunks and just slash. In terms of layups, great layups. This dude, he can reverse, the finger roll, floater game. Everything is on point. I just don't see him dunking as much. Which, it preserves his knees. It saves his knees. Shea is only 27 years old, back-to-back MVP, a champion, a finals MVP. He's in the conference finals again. I think this rivalry...
Listen. I just want to go on note and say, keep an eye on this Shea. He may not... But when he's said and done, I think his body of work may be in a certain conversation. It may put him high over a few people.
It really could. It really could be. And I still think about that Paul George trade back in 2019. We didn't even know who Shea Gilgeous was. Now, best player in the game, hands down.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I had a glimpse of him on the Canadian national team. I had a semi-feeling that I had when I saw Kobe in that McDonald's All-Star game. I said, this kid's got some potential. I never thought he would ascend this quickly and to such a high level. But I did see him have the potential because he was the star of that Canadian team. He was the star.
He was. And then this is a rivalry between the Thunder and the Spurs that could go on for 50. This can be the new Lakers and Spurs in the West.
It very well could be.
The only thing to derail it is if people start wanting their money and big paydays and all that sort of stuff.
And both of those teams have done a good job with money and keeping it in-house and rewarding and knowing when to let players go when it's time to let players go. And I pivot to this real quick. It's similar to the Dodgers with the management that's in place now. And we saw the architect of the Dodgers championship now be moved to the Lakers front office. I think maybe the only team in the West who will be able to, based on what they do as far as, going after championships and building contenders. The new ownership has said luxury tax be damned. We're going to sign who we need to sign. At the end of the season, contractually, the Lakers will only have Luka Doncic under contract. They can make a move on Austin Reeves. Everybody else is a free agent.
The Lakers will have filled, though.
They'll have a ton. It's not for this year. But I'm thinking you got to do it quickly because you got 2 more years before Luka's up for another extension. So I think they're going to try to build around Luka quickly. I think keeping Austin Reeves is a good move right there. And I think they need to build around them. And I think for all the LeBron fans, thank you for your time in LA, but I think you all need to go that swan song.
But also, don't sleep on Minnesota. Minnesota's they're always competitive. They just need to get rid of Rondo and some pieces, but threaten. I'm not saying win a title or even make a finals, but always make the conference finals. They'll always be in the mix for that because you just can't count them out. They're defensively too good. Ant, when he's fully healthy, is a dominant guard, and he could be really, really good. He could be an MVP.
I think there's some dissension in either with coaching or with management because they asked Ant the other night about the situation about Minnesota and the playoffs, and he's like, that's not a question for me. That's more of a question for management.
And he went out there and played on 2 horrible knees, trying to do everything for his team. So Ant has my respect. But yeah, this will be a great conference finals round. I'm just hoping the Pistons win because I call the Pistons to make the conference finals. If they lose, it's going to look horrible on me. But I called the Western Conference Finals accurately. We all did. And this should be
interesting enough about the Western Conference Final. I got something lined up from Stephen A. Smith right now. And he said there's too much pressure on the Spurs. Title or bust is a bit unfair. But I don't think so. I think
I disagree.
The Spurs, if they don't win a title this year, they're going to be severely disappointed. They've been one of the best teams all season long in the NBA.
No, I agree with that. But the thing with them is that they're very ahead of schedule. Very ahead of schedule. And if this is the year that they can have this year, I just think they'll repeat with years like this to come. That's what I honestly think. And they weren't even always that healthy this year. Like Wemby missed a chunk, Castle missed a chunk. So this is going to be a great series.
Well, let's check in with Stephen A. right now and see his take on it. I think it's going to be a great series as well, too. But I personally think it's title or bust for the Spurs. Considering their pedigree, considering how many championships they've won, the Spurs don't get this close and don't want to win it. You know that kind of way? It will be a disappointment if they don't win it. So let's go to the clip right now, Stephen A. and his take on the San Antonio Spurs.
They can win it, but I think that it's a bit unfair to label it title or bust for a team that we didn't have championships for coming into this season. We thought they would be good. We didn't know they would be this good. And because of their youth.
You thought that.
Well, I'm one of those people, but a lot of people did. I wasn't alone. A vast majority of folks were not talking about the San Antonio Spurs on that. Consider them a year away or 2 because of their youth, not because of their talent. And so to see Mitch Johnson coaching his butt off, being one of the great young coaches in the game, to see Castle and Vassell and Harper, Ron Harper's got to be very, very proud watching his son play because Dylan Harper can ball, make no mistake about it. All right, to watch that and his growth and his maturation take fold, to see De'Aaron Fox still doing what he's capable of doing, etc. You're looking at the San Antonio Spurs, and certainly there's championship expectations now because we recognize the greatness of Wembanyama is unparalleled. We haven't seen anything like this before. All true, but that's not what we anticipated coming into this season. So I think they're ahead of schedule. They're championship contenders. We all know it. The likelihood is that they will be in the conference finals because we expect them to win one of these potentially next 2 games against the Minnesota Timberwolves and getting to the conference finals. And if you were to lose, winning defending NBA champions, there's certainly no shame in that because we see what's coming forth down the road. I understand what your point is. They're there now. I get it. I'm just saying if they get to the conference finals and lose to OKC, I am not going to call this season a bust for the San Antonio Spurs. They've had a very, very successful season if they get to the conference finals.
All right, we're back at you on the press box. What say you, Stott? Well, I got to line up a clip right now with Victor Wembanyama, but what say you? I stand by what I say. If the Spurs do not win a championship this year, I think it is a bust.
I
Because
have
like
to
you said,
disagree.
they're ahead of schedule. So if not, why not? If you're good enough to get here now, let's get it started.
I feel that, but then again, see, when you say ahead of schedule, the expectation was the Spurs would be fighting, like, you know, around the 5 or 6 seed, you know, like maybe 50 wins type of team. They won 62 games. So I understand, you know, go and win it all now. And they very well could, because these two teams are only almost like duplicates of each other in every position. But my thing is this. They weren't expected to have this year at all. So even the Thunder, when they were the 1 seed in 2024 with 57 wins, the Mavericks with 50 wins came and shocked the world when Luka and Kyrie were doing their thing, and they beat them in the second round. So even that could almost be seen as kind of a bust, but the Thunder followed it up next year, won the title. The Thunder are here now again 2 years later. So I think the Spurs, it could be a good learning experience for them. That's why I wouldn't call it a bust. Now, in next year, they do the same thing and they lose, then we can start talking. But since this is the first year that all of them are in the playoffs, too. This is the first playoff year for all these guys. I can't say it's a bust. I'd say it's disappointing, but I wouldn't call it a bust.
I would put it like this. I mean, I get your point. Very good points. I would still say it's a bust like this because they're good enough. I don't care how young you are or premature arrival. You got there. You should try to win it. It would be a disappointment. It would be a bust. Would it be something to build on to say, yes, we're this good. This is where we expect to be. This is the level. This is the watermark. All of that. Yes. Have we returned San Antonio back to the upper echelon of the NBA? Yes. Are we back to where we're supposed to be as a franchise and winning or being in contention for winning? Yes.
But
it will be a bust because they're young guys and they want it. I know they want it.
Keep in mind, it's wanting it is one thing, and they could very well do it. But this is the first year all these guys are in the playoffs, except Harrison
When you look
Barnes
at when you look at franchises like San Antonio, the Lakers, the Celtics, there's a little bit of entitlement there, buddy. They're used to winning. They get this close, they want to win, and they're entitled.
I'm not questioning if they want to win or not. I'm just saying if they don't win. See, now, if they get swept, that's one thing that you could look at and be like, okay, how did San Antonio get swept? If they fight and they lose, I won't hang my head on it at all because they weren't expected to be here. And mind you, the Thunder, this is a matchup that they weren't hoping for. They wanted the Nuggets, they wanted the Timberwolves, they wanted anybody. I really hope a 7-game series. Really hope so. But I'm excited for it.
Well, let's hear from the man of the hour. We've talked about him enough. Let's check in with Victor Wembanyama. Here's his take on the Spurs playoff run, the Western Conference push, and where they're about to go. And after that, we'll check right back in here with you on the press ball.
It is time now for Premium Player, presented by Patron.
There he is.
Wemby.
He's back again. He's back.
Back again.
We do this every week.
Wemby, the Spurs ended a 6-year playoff drought this season, and you now make the Western Conference Finals for the first time since 2017. I know you are soaking it all in, but what does this moment represent for you?
Man, the words conference finals just seem surreal right now. It's like something I heard my whole life, and now we're in it, and it's kind of unreal. But at the end of the day, it's just basketball. We know what we got to do.
Victor, ça va? Félicitations.
Ça va, toi? Merci.
How's my accent? Thank you.
Smooth,
Dirk's trying to hate, but thank you.
French Canadian.
Hey, listen, you guys are a young team. We talked about it. You said we don't care. But how have you seen your team grow and form habits even during the playoffs? Because it feels like you just keep getting better.
Feels like everybody's taking pleasure in executing the game plan. And personally, this series was probably the most fun I had on defense, the most fun. Like, everybody was on a string. Everybody was, like, connected. And I was about to go help somebody because I know my teammate has my back. And, like, everybody just went together, and that's the most fun I had on defense.
Vic, great game tonight, man. After you got ejected in Game 4, I saw you come back with a different focus, a different poise. I saw them try to get under your skin, but you wouldn't let them trick you off your spot. You stayed focused, you stayed in the moment. What did you learn from that moment? And I think that also infused your team a little bit. What did your team get from that moment as well? Because I'm a guy that don't mind you drawing the line in the sand. I know you ain't trying to hurt nobody, but I don't mind you drawing a line in the sand.
For sure. No, for sure. You know, I had to make a statement coming back. I knew, obviously, what they were going to do. I knew, of course, there was going to be a certain narrative. But I felt like if I gave in into the physicality and the dirtiness, that would have helped them. And I knew I couldn't go over the edge again. So, I had to beat them by playing basketball.
By the way, Wemby, I know you said that you were looking for both mature Vic and angry Vic to show up at the same time. What does that look like when they both show up?
It's hard to make him show up. I mean, it comes out in big games naturally, but because it's hard to not fall to the dark side, or to the light side or whatever. And I would say when it shows up, it's kind of like the end of where I felt like everything was coming together for me, and I felt really smooth in both physicality and the play.
Congrats, great game. What did you see from your three guards, especially for this game, but for the whole series here?
I saw them overcome some heavy difficulties, heavy pressure all the time. It was a hard series. It was a tough series. And lots of responsibilities were on them because, the way they were guarding the pick and roll, they had to make a lot of decisions. And I had to execute the screens, but then the decision was on them. And Steph today, he had an amazing pass, an amazing late pass. But these guys, all three guards play way different, and they all bring something to the table when they sub in.
Big, now that the series is over, looking ahead to Oklahoma City, I know you guys had success against them in the regular season and in the NBA Cup, but the playoffs is a whole different animal. So, what's your focus or the team's focus going into that series?
Right now, we're focusing on our body recovering, and tomorrow or in a couple of days, we're going to start worrying about the Thunder. And we know it's going to be a whole different series and totally other challenges. This is a team that knows how to play basketball. They know their stuff, and we're going to see. We're going to rewatch all their games and do the scouting and try to execute over there on game one.
Wemby, I know that you heard it throughout the season. Everybody talked about, lack of experience. Like Steve said, everybody said, okay, this team is ahead of schedule, yet here you are at the Western Conference Finals. And I'm curious what you have learned can sometimes matter more than having experience.
Heart matters more than anything, for sure. More than physical ability, more than size, more than experience. And experience, if we don't know that it's impossible, we will do it. As simple as that.
Wemby, last thing, man. I saw Sean Sweeney going crazy when you closed out and gave up a dunk to Terrence Shannon. So tell him to relax over there. You're pretty good at defense.
Hey, we want to shoot for perfection.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that.
I love it.
You all are awfully, awfully close. Thank you so much for your time, Wemby. Congrats and great luck rest of the way.
Good luck.
Good luck, man.
Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Have fun.
And there you have it from Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs getting ready to go into the Western Conference Finals against the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think that's going to be one heck of a series there, Stat Boy. I think that's your NBA Finals right there.
Yeah, I think so. It almost kind of reminds me of Seattle versus the Rams this year in the championship game in football. That'll be the real, Super Bowl top series. Because, the Knicks will give people a run if they can make a finals, but it just won't hit the same. It won't hit the same as this.
Well,
there's no 60-win class team in the East, so.
I'll tell you right now, I like San Antonio in 7 in this one. San Antonio in 7. That's my pick right now.
My prediction is the same, San Antonio in 7 games.
And I think it's going to be one heck of a series.
But I can tell you this for sure. Whoever wins the Western Conference is winning the finals.
Unless the Knicks make it against the Spurs, and then you never know.
That could be interesting, but I feel as though that the playoffs it's bringing the best out of the Spurs for sure right now as they're playing. So I'm excited to see it. I think this series is just going to be the series everybody looks back on and says this was it. This was really it.
All right, now let's address the aging superstar. Where do we go with LeBron in the offseason, Stat Boy?
Hopefully back to Cleveland. Well, he goes back to Cleveland, and we go into the future as Laker fans.
I'm hearing some rumblings that Lucas said, he wants to keep Austin Reeves there, but I'm hearing that the Lakers may want to do a 1-year deal with LeBron.
I would, oh boy. I mean, we already know what we are. We're not beating the Thunder or the Spurs, the Timberwolves, these class teams. We're not beating them. Build a new team and let's go forward. Let's see what we can do with a new team. And, on paper...
I think Redick is proving that he can coach a squad, what's in front of him. If he's now allowed to, like Bill Parcells said, buy some of the groceries in the offseason.
I agree.
And build around what they want to do with Luka and with Reeves, I think is a lot of potential there. But here's the side question. We're going to go to a clip from Stephen A. Smith. And Stephen's, this is one of them takes where Stephen makes me scratch my head. Lakers should have elevated the level of appreciation for LeBron. How much more did we appreciate this dude? We gave his kid a whole roster spot and a $30 million guaranteed contract.
Yeah,
took
that
a
is
spot
true.
from a player that could have helped us actually win games.
This is true.
Put up with all his petulance, all his GM antics, pushing to fire the coach.
Spent the most time of any team. Like, he's had the longest consecutive tenure with us. And I think we've done right by LeBron. I don't think we've done anything wrong by LeBron.
And I need you to do this, son. Who called this existence in LA the minute he signed it? And who called it and said it was going to be just like this and the position we were going to be left in when he departs?
Because that's the common theme with LeBron. Every team he leaves ends up being horrible. But that's not because even the players or whatever. That's just because the roster gets dismantled and destroyed.
That new ownership, that Dodger ownership that says to hell with the luxury cap, we will sign who we want.
My thing is this: if you're talking about the fans are always going to have Magic, Shaq, Kareem, Kobe in a certain echelon. As when they came to the Lakers, there was multiple championships.
And then to hear idiotic articles put out that he's the greatest Laker of all time, that is garbage.
All right, now see
he gets no statue. He gets no statue. It needs to be
the best he'll get
is George Mikan, Elgin Baylor, Jerry West, even though he lost 9, Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant. I mean, my God.
The best LeBron will end up getting for what he's done in LA, breaking
Shaq
the
over
records.
LeBron.
They'll probably retire number 23 for LeBron, knowing the Lakers. That's about it. Statue is a bit crazy. That's where I listen. No, absolutely not. But if he gets 23 retired, I don't know if I'd even be a big fan of that. But I mean, they honor LeBron in some way. I get that. Don't give him.
If they want to give him something. But that's about it. Anyway,
hell no.
Let's hear what Stephen A. has to say on the scenario. That's his take on the Lakers not appreciating LeBron.
What I'm saying is this: LeBron's greatness is not to be questioned. LeBron's commitment to excellence is not to be questioned. His contribution to the Lakers organization is not to be questioned. And certainly they should have an elevated level of appreciation because they didn't choose LeBron James. They didn't win LeBron James. LeBron James chose the Lakers. He could have went anywhere, but he chose the Lakers. I know they want to make it look differently because they're the Lakers franchise. And my goodness, you should feel privileged to come play for us, just like the Cowboys and Jerry Jones feels about when you should come play for the Cowboys. I understand that. But in most instances, they're absolutely right, but not when it comes to LeBron James. He chose the Lakers. He wanted to go to the Lakers. He made it very, very clear that's what he was doing. There was no sweepstakes that they competed for where they won him. He chose them. But it doesn't negate the fact that along the way, because he is who he is, and he's fixated on controlling narratives, that he didn't turn. And when you see any kind of reluctance or tensions or pensiveness about them wanting to be, as a player, how could you not want LeBron James? Of course, as a team, you want LeBron James because he's too great not to. But it doesn't mean he didn't get on their damn nerves along the way. And that's all this is about.
I think the time has come to close that chapter in LA there, Stat Boy. What say you?
I agree with that. Let's move on to something new. LeBron's career is established. He's a Hall of Famer, all-time great. I mean, when you look back on his career, I'll look back on it. And, I'll respect it because LeBron, 20 straight years of being a great player and being at least anywhere in the top 10, top 15 in his later years, I can respect the longevity about it. But
Phenomenal long career, filled with stats and so on and so forth. Yes, indeed. In that vein, great job.
I think it's time to go back to Cleveland. Paper, it'll be crazy.
When you add some of the other key factors in there with that long career in stats,
that's when you're comparing him to other all-time greats in terms of the GOAT conversation. I think anybody at worst has to have him at least top 5, top 10 at this point. Kind of have to. I mean, what he's done.
Top 10 for sure. Top 5 debatable. GOAT, get out of here with that garbage.
He's not my GOAT, but I mean, I think you could have a firm top 5 debate. I think he's definitely in anybody's top 10. I mean, he's all-time leading scorer. He has 4 championships, 4 finals MVPs, 4 MVPs in the regular season.
6 losses
scoring
in
titles.
The finals.
Some
6 losses in the finals.
I don't know why you got
6 losses in the finals.
Okay, I mean, we're just talking about.
You can never escape that, though. When you want to start about the you gotta call it. You have to. You cannot decide who the greatest is based on stats alone.
I'm not saying that.
To quote Herm Edwards, would you play the game for us, stat boy?
You play to win the game. Nobody plays the game to lose the game.
And you play for championships.
But I think at this point in his career, I'd have to have him top 10, top 5. I would.
Top 10 for sure.
He's not my GOAT, though.
Top 5, debatable. And anybody who want to get back to that old school GOAT argument of Jordan and Kareem, let's bring that back, because I think that's more of a worthy GOAT conversation.
But here's the thing. Who's always the one being compared to in the GOAT debate? Like, who's always being compared to another player? It's Jordan.
Correct. He's always the common denominator.
That should tell you something at this point. If it's always somebody versus Jordan, LeBron versus Jordan, Kobe versus Jordan, Magic versus Jordan, Kareem, like, come on.
Jordan is one of the measuring sticks. But I think you have to put Kareem in there too. Look at his body of work.
I'm not taking away from that at all. Like, Kareem's name doesn't come up in comparisons. That's also because the new age of fan is very ignorant, and they think what they're watching is the best basketball ever, and every other era of basketball is terrible. Mike's very ignorant and has a lot of recency bias. But I will say that MJ still comes up in every conversation of who's compared to who. It's always Jordan.
And I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something ahead of time. Why you don't hear Kareem in a lot of the conversations is, if he would have left his name as Louis Ferdinand Alcindor,
yeah, fair
New
enough.
York City,
with Islam.
They might have him on the Rushmore now and say he's the GOAT, and then Jordan.
But Kareem is a top 4 player at the worst. He's on anybody's Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore, he has to be. His face has to be there. I feel like it's like this. I feel like Kareem J. Michael Jordan is Michael Jackson. Like, Prince is great. Prince is like really great.
Wow.
All time. But Michael Jordan and Michael Jackson is different.
Wow, that's a tough one right there, boy.
I don't think it is. I mean, come on, man.
Man,
this is
I'm looking at the comparison. I'm looking at the
show,
Prince comparison. I'm saying, wow, that. Yeah.
I mean, like, not in terms of personality or nothing. I'm talking about the longevity, the greatness.
No, I get it.
Like, I feel like Kareem is the Prince, and then Michael Jackson is Michael Jordan. That's how I feel.
So then what would that make like Kobe and LeBron?
Kobe, I'm trying to think of who Kobe would be if I had to think of a recording artist. This is a bit tougher. It had to be somebody who like ran the game after MJ, and like it gets brought up with like Kobe might be like a Chris Brown. You know, Chris Brown does he's better than Chris Brown, but you see what I'm saying? Where Chris Brown and MJ always get comparisons nowadays, and Chris Brown is still the current king of R&B. LeBron, ironically enough, is like the Drake. Even though they have beef with each other now, LeBron is the Drake. That's who he is. I think that's pretty accurate.
Knock off and often beaten. I like it because Kendrick Lamar monkey stomped him. So I guess Kendrick Lamar is like the Steph Curry if LeBron is like the Drake.
Yeah, that's fair. I could live with that. I could fully say that. I just don't know who I would compare Kobe to as a recording artist because I can't use Chris. I don't know. I have to really think.
There's one artist you compare Kobe Bryant to.
Who's that?
And he lived and he died in L.A.
Tupac.
He lived and died by L.A.
That's a good comparison there. Okay,
you
fine.
put him right there with Pac.
I was thinking more
Kobe
like
is to L.A. What Pac is to L.A. culture-wise, even though Pac wasn't from L.A., Pac immersed himself in L.A. Kobe came from Philly via Italy, immersed himself in L.A. And if you look at it, and then you look at the murals in L.A., two of the more popular murals in LA, and one corner is Kobe, one corner is Pac.
That slipped my mind. You have a good comparison with that. I was thinking more like singers, dancers, entertainers, but in terms of like artists, Tupac is Kobe. I could hear that out for sure.
Well, then that makes LeBron Diddy then.
No, well, hold on now. I wasn't going that far because at least LeBron don't have a lot of the.
Here I try the KFC.
LeBron ain't like what's it called? He doesn't have the how am I going to word this? The preferences of a Diddy. I mean, he did say, party like a Diddy party, but there's no documented, nefarious activity. So
I wasn't even going there. I was just like how he crowns himself. Like Jordan didn't have to crown himself. Kareem not about to crown himself. Kobe not about to crown himself.
That's fair then.
LeBron is like Diddy jumping over everybody's album, everybody's song, and saying something stupid on it just to say he was on it.
As we proceed
to the break, which is a great segue. So we can take the break, flip side of the break. We'll be into the 12 o'clock hour. We'll be talking NFL. This is the Press Box, the May 17th edition. KFC Nassau, The Island Game, Green Parrot, Margaritaville PI, and Harborside Marine.
In the market, you getting cash in your pocket. 'Cause Island Games is spicy, and spicy is tradition. So when you play Island Games, we putting Bahamian guaranteed to pay. Island Games, we like them other jokers. We've been here from the start, from the bike to computer. Island Games, we gonna make your dreams come true. We playing with Island Games.
Always on the go? Missed a show? You can now listen to Guardian Talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers, for window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
KFC has a bold new flavor you'll love. Introducing the all-new Barbecue Rap Star. We're talking a juicy chicken breast filet, fried to golden crisp perfection, covered in sweet and smoky barbecue sauce, topped with cheese, then wrapped in a delicious toasted tortilla with flavor in every bite. Go spicy or keep it original. Either way, it's a star for a reason. The new Barbecue Rap Star is the star of the menu at KFC Nassau. Get yours today at any KFC Nassau location.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
We are back at you on the Sunday, May 17th edition of the Press Box, all brought to you, of course, by the Island Game, KFC Nassau, Green Parrot, Margaritaville PI, and Harborside Marine. All right, we're into the 12 o'clock hour. 12:03 p.m. is the time. We are talking NFL. Stat boy, we got, I wouldn't say breaking news, but we do have an update with the whole Aaron Rodgers scenario in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I saw that.
And like I said, after much debate, because Aaron Rodgers does this every year, the whole I need to disappear after the season, and then a couple of weeks after the draft, and a whole 8 feet deep, and immerse myself in underground activities and in inhalations of all kind of natural or quote unnatural ayahuasca, whatever, and then come out and say if he can play football or not. I think he thinks he's a groundhog, and he's caught in his own perpetual Groundhog Day. But let's check in with Adam Schefter right now with the latest update from Pittsburgh. And Steeler fans, relax. You have your quarterback.
What most had suspected finally is a reality. The Pittsburgh Steelers and Aaron Rodgers have reached agreement on a one-year deal worth up to $25 million that returns Rodgers for his 22nd NFL season. And so he reunites in Pittsburgh with his former Green Bay Packers head coach Mike McCarthy. The two had regular contact during the offseason once McCarthy took over as the Steelers head coach, and the Pittsburgh Steelers have a offseason training program that begins on Monday. With this deal now agreed to, Rodgers time for the start of the offseason program as he gets ready for another NFL season.
And Herb, reunited, and it feels so good. But look here, I think it's too much, too little, too late. Because I think both of them are long in the 2000 McCarthy buy. You know how I felt toward his last couple of years in Dallas.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers has been a shell of himself the last couple of years. So what can they do? Can they find some magic? Can they find some lightning in the bottle? Or is this going to just be another mediocre season for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
No, the best you get is 9-8. Maybe you sneak into a wild card and get smoked. Fully healthy, Cincinnati and Baltimore are going to give this team fits. So
don't sleep on Cleveland either, because they got a new head coach and they got some new players, and they
their new head
coach
coach is my former offensive coordinator, so I know Monken's going to have that offense going. 500-point offense. Let me just let that walk out the building. But I'll say this: I just want this to be Rodgers' last season. I'm sorry, I'm getting tired of this. You're not getting another championship. You're not getting another, maybe not even another division title. You're not getting what you think you're getting in Pittsburgh, except the same.
And you're not as good as you think you are now, Aaron. You're not as good as you used to be.
The fact that he could still start in Pittsburgh, though, shows that, well, I mean, they don't have a lot of faith in the guys. I mean, they need to let these guys develop, and Aaron needs to be mentoring them while he's out there playing as well. I really hope he would be. I hope he doesn't do what Brett Favre did with him and just say, screw it, learn for yourself. But this every single year, I need to take my time to make a decision, and you have people waiting, and then, I'm going to play. No more of that in 2027. This needs to be it. I am done. I'm good.
I mean, this needs to be the last incarnation in the NFL for both of these dudes.
I mean, I don't know how long Mike McCarthy's deal is, but...
And I don't know how well the Steelers are going to do with McCarthy. McCarthy's too conservative, and he's from Pittsburgh.
That's why, though. That's why.
You know what it's going to be? Running backs galore and dink and dumps. You're going to have wide receivers frustrated in Pittsburgh. Watch Metcalf and Pittman be upset this year.
I forgot they got Pittman, too. I forgot about that.
Michael Pittman,
Pittman Jr. Yeah, I completely forgot he is a Steeler now. I thought he was a Colt. Wow. But we know what Pittsburgh's going to be. You have two great receivers there. You have one of the better quarterbacks all time, but he's not. And so I just know what this is going to be. This needs to come to a close.
Yeah, I think that chapter needs to close, but it is official. He has re-signed, so he will be the quarterback in Pittsburgh this season for sure. I know Leo B is somewhere having fits, freaking himself out watching when that news broke.
Yeah.
But here's some other news that's kind of trending in the NFL. Non-traditional games, meaning, the NFL is kicking off the season again this season on a Wednesday. And they say, they have good ratings. Again, they may look to add Wednesday games and other non-traditional nights to the NFL schedule. I don't have a problem in having a weekly NFL game on Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday, and then Monday. That's not a bad thing at all. What do you think, Stat Boy?
I mean, I don't like football through the week is something that, like, you already have your Thursday night, your occasional Friday night for, like, maybe holidays and stuff like that. Wednesday is a rare thing. It's starting on Wednesday this year because they want to have a Thursday night game, I think, in Brazil or somewhere. I forget who's playing in that game. But I know the opener on the Wednesday
Australia, not Brazil. Week 3 is Brazil. And that's when my Cowboys go to Brazil and beat your Ravens. That's circle week 3.
Oh, yay. Okay. So,
we got something for Lamar.
Like I was saying, you've never had anything for him. Like I was saying.
Now we do. Shut up.
What's it called? The opener on Wednesday will be New England in Seattle. That's the Super Bowl rematch. I forget the Thursday game after that, but I don't think Wednesday NFL football games should be right. We already have Thursday, Sunday, Monday, and the occasional Friday night game and all that.
Well, that's going to be a topic of great debate, man, because you don't like it, I like it, and the NFL Network, let's touch base with them and get an update as to where the league is actually going to go with this, because I think, they're looking to add another day. We got that clip lined up, Mr. Producer? No. Yeah, that's not it, Mr. Producer. Let me double check that clip for you. But I vote for a Wednesday game. I like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday.
I don't. It gives you something to look forward to in the week.
College football sprinkled in between. It's a beautiful thing.
When you don't have football Tuesday, Wednesday, you get one on Thursday, then Friday, and then Saturday. You're waiting for Sunday. Like it's Sunday is like that day,
Well, we'll see. Something that I'm keeping an eye on. It's how Shedeur Sanders does in Cleveland this year.
I think he'll do just fine. I really expect to see him take a leap with Monken as head coach.
Is he the starter or is Watson the starter?
Watson? Deshaun who? What? Come on. I think Shedeur will be starting. I think he'll do just fine. We'll have to see, though. But I think.
What about Dylan Gabriel?
No.
Why not?
He might get the starting job, but he's not better than Shedeur. He's not significantly better than Shedeur at anything. Shedeur adds that dual threat. Shedeur has the heart and the confidence and the moxie you need to play quarterback. And if he just improves on the basics, reading the defense is a bit better in the second year, along with still coming with the confidence he has to just let it rip, I think Shedeur will be doing just fine.
I hope they give him the opportunity. I really hope they give him the opportunity. Huh?
That's all it is. He just needs to get a chance.
I don't think he was given a fair opportunity last year, so
definitely not.
Hopefully, with the head coach being gone, we'll see some other things. Because I don't think it was a fair shake that he got. I really don't.
Nor do I. I mean, he wasn't allowed to play with the first teamers or practice with them, get any reps, got thrown into the fire. Still went out. I think it was against, I can't remember which team it was against. He had like 350 yards and 3 touchdowns in a game against one of those teams. And just was absolutely incredible.
But yeah, now the news is really starting to break league-wide. Rodgers, here come the scenarios,
Ain't no scenarios. They're done.
No, I mean, I don't feel better than they were last year, in my opinion.
Exactly. They're just going to be the same, if not worse. We already know their ceiling. Don't know their floor. Their floor could be much lower.
Look at this text coming in. Happy Sunday, Naughty and Stat Boy. I should really expect an objective Steeler breakdown from a Cowboy and a Raven.
Texter, I don't know who you are, but I'm
starting early Pittsburgh fans. Y'all need to calm down. Y'all really think Aaron Rodgers going to get you all over the hump? Stat Boy, say what you have to say.
We're being more than fair because tell me the last time the Steelers have. First off, tell me the last time the Steelers have won a playoff game. Then tell me the last time y'all have went to a conference championship game. And then tell me the last time you won a Super Bowl, and then you can get back to me. All right. I know the drought has been longer than the Ravens before you come with that being petty. And then on top of that, we have, despite all of our losses and all of our failures, last time we won a playoff game was January 2025. What say y'all? When was the last time y'all won a playoff game? What, 10 years ago, 2017? If that? Come on, man. They haven't been the same since the Jaguars destroyed them in that what's it called? That divisional game. I know you remember that. I know you remember me calling that as a 10-year-old boy too, that the Jaguars would beat the Steelers.
Yeah, I don't know where you pulled that one from, but you did do a good job at that. I can't lie.
That's because I've always known ball. That's why. So you're talking about objectivity.
That's because you're my son. That's why.
We could be bashing the Steelers, but instead we're being completely fair. Like, they could make a wild card run. They always do. They're gonna be above 500. These are fair things. These are what's happened. So if you expect this to be a Steeler glazed show, I'm sorry that you're not getting that from me. So you'll find it elsewhere.
All right, let's check here now. Draft has just been completed, right? And we got a lot of talk about Mendoza coming in, and Jordan and Jeremiah Love, Alvaro Reese. You got Caleb.
Rocking the number 13 in Dallas.
You got Caleb Downs. All right.
Caleb Downs. What about
we got Caleb Downs. All right, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But what happened to some of the players from last year that got all the hype? What happened to the second year guys? I look for some of those names. I call in some other names and some dark horse names out of the second and the third round to come and make plays, because there's always several NFL players that appear out of nowhere in their rookie year and just built to play in the NFL. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
and just
100%.
Kaboom.
It's something we're gonna have to wait and see for the for this season for the rookies. But I can tell you two guys who are going to be threats in their second year right now, and they're in your division. That's Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo. I can tell you that.
I think so. And I'll tell you another thing, too. Who's in his second year? His name is Tyler Booker. He's part of the Tyler.
All right.
The Tyler's from Dallas, right?
This is yes, we get it. We understand. I'm
That
talking
is
about
a
your
man who
competition.
makes you hate playing the game of football after you play him.
We're talking
He
about
watches your love for football leave out of your eyes. That's the kind of individual he is.
One big thing for y'all, though, is I think A.J. Brown is certainly 100% gone. Drafting Makai Lemon proved that, so you won't have to worry about him. And then you could, because Makai might be good, but again, he's a rookie receiver, so he has a lot to learn about the defensive backs. And then going against Caleb Downs, twice a year, it's going to be rough.
And where did Caleb Downs play, Sancho?
Oh, only the best football university of all time, the Ohio State University.
All right, let's go to this clip from the NFL and see who some of the second-year names may be. I think, Travis Hunter, I think he should only play one way, figure it out, offense or defense. Will Ashton Jeanty break out and get that 1,000 yards? Is Emeka Ogbuka back ready to break out and really explode? And is Will Campbell's role in danger? That's awesome second-year, players. And then, of course, your guy up in Seattle, Nick Emmanwori, is that how you say his last name? The safety?
I think it's Emmanwori.
But that too. But he plays for your old defensive coordinator.
Yes, Mike McDonald, my guy.
And they did a great job. They did a great job in Seattle winning that Super Bowl. I don't know. It's going to be hard for them to repeat with some of the losses they had, but I still think with that defense,
the structure is
they're going to be in it. Correct.
Exactly. You haven't even mentioned what's his name. Oh, he's so good. Witherspoon, Devon Witherspoon. Now they did lose Tariq Woolen, and they did also lose Kobe Bryant, not the former all-time great basketball player, but Kobe Bryant, the safety. So it's going to be interesting to see how they retool. They drafted the second running back from Notre Dame. I think his name is Jadarian Price, if I'm not mistaken.
And I think he's plug and play with the running back situation in Seattle too.
Well, he's going to have to be because Charbonnet tore his ACL in January. So,
and Kenneth Walker is now a Chief. But anyway, let's get to this clip from the NFL Network and see which second-year players are poised to break out. Could they repeat and have a decent second season, or they got problems? Let's see where they're going with their predictions for second-year players breaking out in 2026, 2027 in the NFL.
You think of the situation he finds himself in as the number one pick?
I think it's a great situation for long-term success, but the success that Fernando's going to have is going to be directly correlated to the amount of patience that the Raiders need to have with him. The longer he sits, the longer he waits, the longer they wait until he's ready to put him out there, the better he's going to be in the long term. That's why I think Kirk Cousins is the short-term option. But back to the leadership style, man, I freaking love it because this generation lacks that. My generation, even, the one before, lacks it. It's the look-down generation. Everyone's out on their phones looking down. They don't mind telling you what you don't want to hear behind a text message, but they struggle at looking you in the eyes and telling you what you don't want to hear. And to quote a wise man, Ben Parker, in a conversation with his nephew, Peter Parker, with great power comes great responsibility. The responsibility of a leader and the number one pick is not to have everyone like you. It's to hold everyone accountable to the standard of success that everyone puts in place to take the franchise forward. And that's the power that Fernando has. Like Mike T said, he's got to earn it. And he needs to earn it before he starts being an a-hole. But he's got that DA.
All right, I had seemed to drop off. I'm back at you now. All right, so here we go. That clip actually, touching on Mendoza in Vegas. Do you think he fits in plug and play right away, Stat Boy?
I plug and play right away. He could be, and he could definitely adapt. He will have his learning curves and hurdles to overcome, as all rookies do. I feel like we're talking a lot about Mendoza right now. I know he's the number one pick and the Heisman winner.
But Kirk Cousins going to be the starter for the first couple of games.
Well, I think they're going to have a quarterback competition. I'm not completely sold that Kirk is going to be the starter. I will say this, though. You have to let him play a down of NFL football first. Like, we're talking a lot about what he could do, what we like, what we see. None of this matters until you get on the field and you see it in real time. All of this is just projections and predictions. You have to give it some time. That's what I'm saying to like Raider fans and a lot of the analysts and pundits. But I really think in a few years, Mendoza could be that guy in Las Vegas. Maybe even this year, you never know. Because, I think back to a team like Cincinnati, Joe Burrow's second year, Jamar Chase's rookie year. Those guys went all the way to the Super Bowl. And they were just ready out the gate. Burrow, Heisman winner, national championship winner. Those guys were just ready. So this could be one of those situations. But you have to let them play a down of NFL football first. Because even Joe Burrow's rookie year, sadly, he tore his ACL. It wasn't all peaches and cream. He had to go through learning curves, so let's give it time.
Speaking of number one guys, the unofficial number one guy in Kansas City is Patrick Mahomes. A lot of speculation if he'll be back week 1 and under center for the Chiefs. Let's swing to Rich Eisen and Andy Reid right now, breaking it down. Andy Reid's early prediction of Mahomes being back and ready for week 1. Do you think he's back and ready for week 1 there, Stat Boy? That's what he's pushing for. That's what he wants to do. Do you think he's coming back too early?
I'm not
healthy enough. Let him go.
I'm not certain about week 1, but what I know is Patrick is a workhorse. He will do whatever it takes to be back for his team. He is one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history already.
I'm thinking the first month of the season he's back.
I can agree with that too. They just have to hold their head steady. But if there's anything I know about Patrick, first off, he's going to send him on the best doctors, physiologists, the best cardio guys, the best medical people out there to help strengthen his knee, get the flexibility, the agility, the motion back in his knee. And so he'll do whatever it takes to be fully healthy and ready to play like his old self, where he can, because a lot of things with injuries, you have to trust your leg again. You have to trust your arm again, because people get scared to use it after a while. But he's attacking this with a lot of Mamba mentality. And I think Patrick will be back sooner than people think. I'm not certain. I'm not saying week 1. But when he's back, that West is going to be the Chiefs again.
All right, let's go to that clip. Rich Eisen and Chiefs head coach Andy Reid breaking the potential week 1 return of Patrick Mahomes.
Looking at weeks 1 through 18, I know we're sitting here in the middle of May. What week do we see Patrick Mahomes as the starting quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Andy Reid?
Oh, Rich, man.
Oh, yeah. I went there. Just straight through. Yeah. I walked through the door with you, right through the front door.
Yeah, listen, I can tell you, I'm not Confucius at all, but I can tell you that we're sitting here and I hear people say, well, he's ahead of schedule. I'm not sure who makes the schedule, so everybody's different. I would tell you, though, that he spent a ton of time here, and he's getting better every day. He's not taking any setbacks, and that's what you look for. You're making sure that as you push him, which Julie, our trainer, is doing, the real trainer, actually. If you go back to the commercial, she's the real trainer in the picture. So she's pushing him, and he wants more. And so I would tell you he's doing very well, but it's a day-to-day thing. And as long as he keeps making the progress forward, maybe you have a chance to see him the first game. But
well, in my world, where I sit in front of a microphone and talking to people, television, this, that, radio callers and things of that nature, basically outside of your world, the notion that the league, the NFL, and its schedule makers put your team at home Monday night, Denver Broncos, AFC West champs, in your house in week 1 means the league believes Patrick Mahomes will be the starting quarterback that night and might have gotten some sort of indication. Is there any?
Well, deep down, Roger Goodell wanted to be a physical therapist. So he said, listen, the 2 of the top quarterbacks in the National Football League need some motivation to get themselves back on the football field. That works. So let's put them against each other. Let's just put them against each other, and we'll see what happens. So here we sit. But we wouldn't want it any other way. I don't think Denver would want it any other way. This is a great thing, and if the guys can be there, they're going to be there, and both of them are great competitors, and we'll just see where it all goes.
What are you? Obviously, you're going to take the cue from, as you mentioned, trainer, medical staff, and again, this is not your first rodeo on this front either, Andy Reid. But what do you want to see? Your eyeball, your gut, your feel. What do you want to see from Mahomes? July, August, so you can feel comfortable taking the advice from the medical staff?
There's probably a couple of things. You want to make sure that it's healed, number one, and that he can keep himself out of harm's way as needed. In other words, be able to play the game. And, if you can't do that, then you got to spend more time getting yourself to be able to do that. And we'll keep a close eye on that. And if that decision needs to be made and when it needs to be made, we'll make that. But, we're obviously not going to just throw him out there to throw him out there. And I know his competitive nature is he's going to want to play. But we've got to evaluate all that as we go forward.
And then, last one for you on this. It's new for him, although, his healing powers we've seen before. My gosh, that time on a quarterback sneak where his kneecap wound up on the side of his leg, and I thought his year was over, and it was the exact opposite. That said, what are you seeing from him in his rehab when he's around and how he's attacking it? If there's anything different, any sort of sensibility you see from him differently with a chip on his shoulder about this injury potentially?
It's funny you mentioned that game. That was in Denver, by the way, and
right.
and so he was trying to talk me in at halftime of going back in the game. So I mean that's how this guy is wired,
right.
And it's a great thing, but at the same time, you got to make sure that everything's right. And I wish everybody could see how he's gone about his business on getting himself ready. It's a pretty impressive deal. 7 hours in the building every day. Every day he's in here and going and working. And so, but at the same time, he's still got a lot left in his career, and you don't want to put him in a bad position there. So we keep a close eye on it. We got great people here that do that, and with our trainer, Rick Burkholder, our head trainer, our medical staff, doctors, and Julie is, I'll put her against any PT in the league. I mean, she's a good one.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end.
Well, there you have it. It sounds to me like we're going to play this thing by ear and touch base with the training staff, but if they give a green light and Mahomes is moaning and complaining to play, we're going to let him go. That's what I'm getting.
That's what I think as well.
So Kansas City may be in contention from the break next year.
I think so.
I think now you have to focus on the defense. If they get Mahomes back, you got Kenneth Walker, you made improvements to the offensive line, you got your wide receivers. Now you have to start looking at because didn't they draft a wide receiver? Didn't they trade up and draft that kid from Arizona State?
Did the Chiefs? I can't remember. I don't know if that was them. I think Tyson went to the Saints. Messidor went to the Chiefs.
Saints. But I think the Chiefs did.
They might have gotten a guy. I'll have to go back and review the draft. They might have gotten a guy for sure.
The whole Kenneth Walker addition, the offensive line additions right there, healthy Mahomes. Kansas City might put up enough points offensively to cover for the defense that Spagnuolo could get him playing.
Oh, yeah. I definitely agree. Like I said, the West is in trouble with a healthy Chiefs.
You have to really take the Chiefs, if they're healthy, into consideration as a contender over there. You cannot sleep on them. I think they're a dangerous play.
That's definitely, most definitely. They have the winning pedigree. They have the history. They've been a dynasty. And Denver had a shot last year, and that might have been their shot, and they blew it.
Now listen, I want to check back, and I want to know your take on this before I play the clip. But we're gonna check in with Rich Eisen show and Rich Eisen contributor Kirk Morrison, right? But here's the deal: how do you think that Tom Brady is trying to subtly put his imprint on the Oakland Raiders indirectly?
Las Vegas Raiders, but yes,
the outright GM, possibly in.
I think he's got a lot more sway than we would think. Yes, in Las Vegas, I do agree with that. This is building like a winning culture. They have a winning mentality. It feels like, and yeah,
we got to see where this goes, because I'm really thinking if Brady takes to building a franchise the way he took to building. That Patriot dynasty and all, and what a stickler he was with attention to detail as a quarterback. This Raider team could be better quicker than later.
I think so as well.
So I'm gonna let Mr. Producer line that clip up, but we're gonna hear from Kirk Morrison, a Rich Eisen contributor, if Tom Brady is really putting his stamp on the Raiders, and that could be a dangerous thing for the AFC West. Can you imagine Brady trying to build the Raiders like how they built the Patriots?
The Buccaneers, yes.
Let's go to the clip. Let's check in with Kirk Morrison and Tom Brady. All right, before we get to that clip, though, let's go to the phone lines. Talking the press box.
Hey, Nutty.
What's going on, Mystery?
Everything good, man. What's up, Stat Boy?
How you doing, Mystery? Everything good?
Hey, everything good, boy. Nutty, this reminds me of LeBron and Bronny on the same team.
Man, you can say
Joe and your son on the same team, and y'all. I mean, this is just amazing, man.
Mystery coming from you, I can take it as a compliment, even though I know you mean to do what you do.
Yes, sir.
That comparison.
But let me ask you a question. I heard y'all talking about Kansas City. Would be a challenge in the West for any team. What did they do? I'm left out. I haven't been
You
keeping
might
up.
have missed it. I said the potential of Patrick Mahomes being back week 1, which is now starting to look like a real possibility. The addition of Kenneth Walker, the Super Bowl MVP, the running back from Seattle. He's now the starting running back in Kansas City. They've made some adjustments to the offensive line to protect Mahomes. They've got a decent enough receiver core for him to do what he needs to do offensively. I think I was making the point that if he does come back, if the offense is clicking, they have Eric Bieniemy back as the offensive coordinator too, which speaks volumes because when they won Super Bowls and that offense was clicking, he was the OC. I think they're going to cover for the defense until Spagnuolo could get them on the same page because
Is
obviously
Kelce
they've
back?
lost some starters. Pardon?
Is Kelce back?
Yeah, Kelce should be back for his swan song last season at tight end. So I think the offense will put up some points till Spagnuolo could get the defense right. But they will be a contender in that AFC West.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I was listening. I wanted to know what changed, what pieces they added to make them a factor.
The
And
fact that Mahomes being
I-
back for week 1 is the whole key ingredient right there. They don't have to go to the backup quarterback route. They don't have to scale back the offense. They can hit the ground running offensively, and hopefully the defense gets right quick.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want Patrick Mahomes to come back 95%. It's best for him because he get injured a lot. So I wouldn't want him to come back 95%. I think he should sit out until he's 100%. I mean, I know there's an urge for him to come back, and if he missed the start, he could miss the whole season.
But according to Andy Reid, if the trainers give him the green light and they feel like he's in a good place and so on, they're gonna let him go for it.
Wonderful. All right, guys. Great show as
Good
usual.
stuff.
I'll continue to listen in.
Yep.
Thanks, man, Mr. Have a good Sunday, bro. Now let's get to that clip. So Kurt Marshall contributing on the Rich Eisen show. Can Brady actually be as impactful to the Raiders, putting his imprint on the Raiders as he was with the Patriots? Let's go to that clip right now.
You brought up a name there. When you speak quarterback, mine goes to Tom Brady. You mentioned a little bit about Tom.
TB12.
There. But let's really deep dive in this. What do you know about Tom and his position with the Raiders? How involved will he be with this QB competition? Do you ever see him maybe hopping down? Probably wouldn't do this in front of everybody, but maybe giving some pointers to Fernando and maybe even Kirk still at this point in his career. How involved is Tom Brady going to be with this whole process?
I think when it comes to Tom, like, he just loves football. Mm-hmm. So it's not just like he keeps his thoughts and how he played so many years and at a high level, like he's just going to be secluded and I'm only going to tell these guys. Like, Tom Brady wants to talk football. Like, when I see him either at practice or where, he may be calling a game and I've seen him and we have these conversations, like Tom is always intense. Like, I never see Tom just like calm.
Really?
Like, no, because when he steps in between the lines, when he's at practice, like, how can we be better? Oh, I love that, or this and that, or Kirk, what are you thinking? It's like, just to have those conversations when you do see him, to me, it's refreshing because everybody wants to know, what's his role? What's his role? His role is a sounding board. His role is the greatest player I know that I played against and I've seen go out and operate and work and have competed against, know what it's like, know what the process has looked like, the mind games that go on in a football game. His opportunity is to give back. Now, being with the organization, he can give back to the players in which he's the minority owner of. So to be able to have that phone call, like to pick up the phone and a player like Fernando or even Kirk Cousins, hey, Tom, you know what, man, 2-minute drill came up today. I just got a question. Like, what are you thinking, man? You're down 3. We got to get to this yard line. But, what if I want to go and I saw a cover 2 and they shifted to a cover 3? Like, those are the types of questions that you can ask somebody who's been through, who's seen every defense. Like, I would want to ask him. Like, even if I was not a part of the Raider organization, if I'm a young quarterback and I have a landline to Tom Brady, I'm going to use it.
The GOAT line.
Like, the GOAT line, yeah. Like, I'm going to use it because I want to be great.
You should use it.
I want to be great. Like, I think about Kobe Bryant and what he talked about with Michael Jordan, how he studied and wanted to be Mike. If you want to be the best, utilize it. And it just so happens the guy who's the best at that position of all time, in my opinion, is a phone call away, who watches what you do. that's what his role is to be able to listen, be a sounding board, and it's part of the family atmosphere, right? It's all a family now. Like, I think before it was always one guy makes decisions. Now it's like, hey, we all can make a decision. We all can agree on what's next. And I would tell you this. I'm knocking on, oh my God, I got to find some wood here. All right, I found some wood over here.
Feller, knock on wood,
There we
you're
go.
Raider Nation.
Knock on the head. But this has been a fairly smooth offseason for the Raiders. Now, I know a lot of people brought the Max Crosby stuff up, right? We saw it in all the release videos. But even still, in years past, that would derail an offseason for the Raiders or even any other team. And yet it was handled smoothly, handled with grace. Max is a Raider. He'll always be a Raider. And I hope he stays a Raider. But that situation was handled. Offseason was handled perfectly in terms of the free agents. The draft was handled perfectly. We all know who Fernando was going to be the number one overall pick. We all knew. But they respected the process. They did the work. And they treated it like they were supposed to treat it. And they picked the best player in the draft and the guy who fits what they need to do in order to be at the best in their organization. So kudos and shout out to the guys in the silver and black. And we'll see what it looks like. But if you're asking when Fernando's playing, I don't know.
Hey, you made it.
Boy, I really think if I know Brady's stat boy, I think he's going to be hands-on with Mendoza. He's going to be active in that quarterback room, but I think he's going to be influential in turning the Raiders around. He just doesn't like to lose. He only knows how to win. I guess we lost that boy there. He might be on mute. But I just take the competitive nature of Tom Brady, and I look at the big picture. And you know what? He is not. What?
I was talking, and I was muted. I'm talking to my whole self. I feel
the role of Purdy is now being played by Statboy.
I said that I want to make sure he gets the highest possible return on the investment. It's any businessman. Like it's just what you do. You make an investment, you're going to make sure you get the best return on investment.
I agree, but I think his competitive nature is going to do wonders for the Raiders, man.
I think so as well.
I think he improves there.
Mendoza's the guy.
The attitude overnight. I think he's a key component in that success moving forward. But listen, let's get to this break right now. We'll get this break in. Flip side of the break, we'll be back with our picks, brought to you by the Island Game. And obviously, we got a final 15 lined up with Rich Eisen. I don't know if we're going with the power rankings or what's more likely, but we'll hear from Rich. That's all coming up, so keep it right where you got it. The Sunday, May 17th edition of the Press Box, brought to you by the Island Game, KFC Nassau, Green Parrot, Margaritaville PI, and Harborside Marine. Continue.
KFC has a bold new flavor you'll love. Introducing the all-new Barbecue Rap Star. We're talking a juicy chicken breast filet, fried to golden crisp perfection, covered in sweet and smoky barbecue sauce, topped with cheese, then wrapped in a delicious toasted tortilla with flavor in every bite. Go spicy or keep it original. Either way, it's a star for a reason. The new Barbecue Rap Star is the star of the menu at KFC Nassau. Get yours today at any KFC Nassau location.
Play with Island Games. We making dreams come true. Play with Island Games. We paying more out to you. Don't mind the noise in the market. You getting cash in your pocket. 'Cause Island Games is spicy and spicy is tradition. So when you play Island Games, we putting Bahamians first. Guaranteed to pay. Island Games. We like them other jokers. We've been here from the start. From the bike to computer. Island Games. We can make your dreams come true. We playing with Island Games.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers, for window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No gig and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located at the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
We're back at you on the Sunday, May 17th edition of the Press Box. Yours truly, Naughty, along with Statboy in your company right up until 1 p.m. And we got to line up our picks brought to you by the Island Game coming up for you before we get out of here, because on the way home today, we got Rich Eisen taking us home today with what's more likely, as we do each and every Sunday here. And this week, Rich is talking about the Seahawks, Patriots, Eagles, Cowboys, Broncos, Bengals, and more. So I want you to listen on up for that, because if you're a fan of any one of them teams, Rich got a tidbit for you on the way out. But Statboy, we got to look at our picks today. And we're dealing with one pick in particular. I think that's a certain basketball.
Cleveland and Detroit, Game 7.
Game 7. And you can play it and win with the Island Game. You can make a single game bet. You can make a parlay. You got player props. You got teasers. You got multiple ways to play and win. Simply log on to theislandgame.com. Click on Sportsbook. It'll have all your options to play and win. And keep on listening out. Some big things popping with the Island Game, especially for football season. That's all I can say right now. But trust me, big things coming to the Island Game in the NFL season, all right? So if you haven't got your account, sign up already at your favorite Island Game location. But today, NBA Eastern Conference Semifinal Series tied 3-3. I told y'all. Back against the wall. I said they were going to come back.
You did call it, and that incredible choke by Cleveland had a chance to close it out. Now they could be going home.
And I think Detroit blows them out today in Detroit.
Like they did Orlando?
Correct. I think this is a blowout. I'm going
to go with you on that as well.
I like the Pistons to cover the 4.5 points, and I like them to win the game outright going away. Not even close today. I think they're at home. I think they realize that they played with fire this series. They have an opportunity to get to the Eastern Conference Finals and play the Knicks, a team they match up well against. I think they're going to get it done today in a big way at home.
I think so as well. I think the Pistons will win and go to the conference finals against the Knicks.
And if that does pan out, you'll have the Knicks and the Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals, which is an old school matchup. And then over in the West, you'll have like a new school, old school matchup with OKC and San Antonio. But 4 quality contenders to make it to the NBA Finals in both conference finals, respectively.
Say it again?
I say 4 quality contenders.
Oh, absolutely.
Conference final.
Either finals matchup, the different combinations that you could have could all be great. All 4 be great.
All right. Well, I'm going with the Pistons today, minus the 4.5 over the Cavaliers. That's my
as am I.
Play it and win with the Island Game. The game, the friends you trust, and the Island Game always reminds you to play responsibly. And big up to all of our other sponsors in addition to the Island Game. KFC Nassau, be sure to check them out in their buckets. And, of course, their chicken sandwiches. And listen, man, how's that chickie sandwich there, Stat Boy? I know you're the chicken sandwich connoisseur. How's the chickie?
I would give it a strong 8.5 out of 10. It's gotten better and better every time I've tried it.
There you go. Also being brought to you by Green Parrot in Margaritaville, PI. That's the perfect places to take in all the games, all the action, all the time with ice cold beers and food specials. And, of course, Harborside Marine. If there's anything marine-wise that you need, it's Harborside Marine. You need that boat back in the water, Harborside Marine. All right? You need coolers, Harborside Marine. You need rods, fishing tackles, spare guns, spare slings, Harborside Marine. You need masks, snorkels, fins, life vests, Harborside Marine. You need wetsuits. You see where I'm going with this? All right. Yep. Big up to all my sponsors, man. We'll do it again next week for Statboy. For Mr. Producer, this is your boy Naughty. Have a great Sunday. And next week in studio, we'll have Mega. We'll have Pearly. Pearly will be back off the IR. fully loaded quartet to bring you the press box like we do each and every Sunday. From Mr. Producer, this is your boy Naughty. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy your games, and we'll see you next week right here on the press box.
KFC has a bold new flavor you'll love. Introducing the all-new Barbecue Rap Star. We're talking a juicy chicken breast filet, fried to golden crisp perfection, covered in sweet and smoky barbecue sauce, topped with cheese, then wrapped in a delicious toasted tortilla with flavor in every bite. Go spicy or keep it original. Either way, it's a star for a reason. The new Barbecue Rap Star is the star of the menu at KFC Nassau. Get yours today at any KFC Nassau location.
Play with Island Games. We making dreams come true. Play with Island Games. We paying more out to you. Don't mind the noise in the market. You getting cash in your pocket. 'Cause Island Games is spicy and spicy is tradition. So when you play Island Games, we putting Bahamians first. Guaranteed to pay. Island Games. We like them other jokers. We've been here from the start. From the bike to computer. Island Games. We gonna make your dreams come true. We playing with Island Games.
Always on the go? Missed a show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to Guardian.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
What's more likely?
Never say never, but never.
All right, it's time for What's More Likely, presented by Pella Windows and Doors. And before he went out the door to be a celebrity in Kevin Rahm's celebrity golf tournament at Children's Research Hospital, Chris Brockman left behind a What's More Likely, presented by Pella Windows and Doors. Suze, you have the floor.
Yeah, the first one is what's more likely?
Uh-oh.
You eat whatever you want, and I usually find the wrappers in your car. Or you really listen to what I have to say about stuff like that.
I don't know. There's a little bit of both.
Right.
So, yeah, it's probably the eat whatever I want. You find the wrappers in the car.
All right.
Weird one from Chris.
That, it's funny.
What would Chris know about what's happening in my car? That's very weird.
Yeah, that was the first one he wrote. I thought, maybe stick with the NFL.
Okay.
Stay in your lane.
Okay.
Hey, guys, how are you?
Hey, Suze.
Hey.
Good to see you, yo.
How are you? Okay, reportedly, here's the opening stateside game week 1. Super Bowl team to miss the playoffs this season, Seahawks or Patriots?
About this game potentially being reportedly the first one. I always thought it was going to be Bears Seahawks. Jesus. I know why he puts me in these positions right here. Because it's neither. Come on now. And he knows that he thinks that Drake May is going to take another step forward, and he knows that A.J. Brown is coming, so he's going to get that going for him, which is nice. But just because he's not here to defend himself, which is my favorite sport, I'll go Patriots. All
right. So
and he knows that he's putting me in a position with you and with Cooper and your entire side of the family. But I'll go Patriots. And he also knows if I say Seahawks, then yesterday I already put the Seahawks third on my power rankings, and he thinks that I'm in the trash heap with the 12s to begin with. So this is what he does. This is his revenge for me to slag on him when he's not here.
He's needling you, Rich.
He is.
Getting in there.
I'll take the Patriots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Better record heading into Thanksgiving, the Eagles or the Cowboys?
I'm going to say it's your Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to keep doubling and tripling down on this, TJ.
I'm with it.
I still just need to know what the Eagles' offensive coordinator is going to do with Jalen Hurts that's different than any other new offensive coordinator not named Kellen Moore or Shane Steichens come in. Now, as you know, it's usually the every other year thing for them. But I put the Cowboys above the Eagles in my way too early power ranking.
Way times 3.
And I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys. I think they're going to have the better record heading into that game. Whether they're going to have the better record at the end of the season is anybody's guess. But I'll go Dallas on this front.
I'm not mad at that.
Good question.
I know you're
heading into your conversation with Andy Reid on the show tomorrow.
Thank you.
Talking about the Thanksgiving night game. Who's more likely to get back to the AFC Championship game, the Bills or the Chiefs?
I'll go Chiefs. Yeah.
I don't think that's a shock to anyone.
Why? The Bills are the ones that
not
almost
to-
made the AFC Championship
I know,
game
but
last year.
not to
the
pick
Bills
up
are the ones that are
Brockman's
probably
flag,
improving.
but-
The Bills are the ones that are going to have a new home there, and I have no idea.
We know you love
if the train whistles there are actually going to be more intense. We have no idea. That's the cool thing about the Bills' X factor this year is this new stadium. I imagine they have created it to make it louder. I bet you the design of this stadium is to make it louder. And
should
we
try
have
to make
no
it louder.
idea what that's going to look like. And Josh Allen is now a daddy. The power of fatherhood.
It's coming
on
for your
display.
crown.
But I'm still
So
going the
tired.
Chiefs, man. I still think they have a very talented roster, and Mahomes coming back with a chip on his shoulder and a new knee. I kind of dig it.
Now you pissed off the producer.
I know I did, but Hoskins is sweet. And he's got his playoff beard, which makes him look more intimidating than ever.
It does.
He looks great.
I like the beard.
Do you like it's his Buffalo Sabres
I know,
playoff beard.
I know. He looks great. I went down on that one to show that I really mean it.
Okay, very good.
He said
They play on Thanksgiving Eve, these two teams. Who are more likely to win their division, the Packers or your Rams?
Why are you saying my Rams?
You're a very passionate Rams.
That's what Cooper keeps saying to me.
Well, he would know.
The Rams are an easy team to root for.
Rich, you love the Rams.
I
You
love
Matthew Stafford.
I do indeed. I voted
love
him
Big
for
Wit.
MVP.
You love
Right.
Les. Like you are a passionate Rams.
Okay. What's more likely to win their division this year, Packers or Rams? I will go Rams. They're number one on my power rankings. I'm going to keep doubling and tripling down.
Easy then.
I'm going to keep doubling and tripling. I'm going to go Rams. What else you got over there, Suze?
Rich, who's the quarterback to have the better 2026? Is it Bo Nix or Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, I'll go Bo Nix. I'll say Bo Nix. I'm eager to see what's going on with Jalen Waddle, man, and him. I think that's going to be really good. And R.J. Harvey, I think, is going to take a step forward. And I think this offense is going to be better. Obviously, the X factors here is how Nix comes back from that ankle surgery. And then, of course, how does it look with Sean Payton apparently not calling the plays? But, yeah, I will do that. I'll go with the young buck rather than the OG of Pittsburgh, who's still not there. What else?
You've been talking about these international games with the Bengals and the Falcons.
I can confirm that I'm talking about it.
What's more likely? Who's going to finish top 5 in MVP voting this year, Joe Burrow or Bijan Robinson? It's a good one.
Boy, Bijan Robinson. Top 5 in MVP voting. I'll go Burrow. I'm going to go with the quarterback. Clearly, I'll go with the quarterback. I'll go with Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
I'm going to go Joe Burr. Yeah. I'm going to go Joe Burr and the Bengals. And this is obviously an international game. This will be a matchup that the folks in Madrid will see.
But haven't we spoken about you thinking?
I'll go with
Bijan's
Jose
gonna-
Burrow. What?
Haven't we spoken about you thinking Bijan's going to take that next level step?
I do think so, but to go ahead and crack the MVP top 5?
I mean, yeah.
That's a tall order for a running back.
I still say we should just call it the most valuable quarterback.
I understand that.
At that, so in that
Right.
sense,
As you know, the quarterbacks get the MVPs and the running backs or receivers get the offensive players of the year. Like that's the way it is definitely shaping up.
So the quarterbacks get the cheerleaders and the MVPs. I mean, that's not fair.
What else you got over there, Susan?
And Joe Burrow is going to always bring his fashion sense. So will he dress as a matador coming in?
I like it. Look at you. I would like that.
Try to be a factor. All right. What's
changed.
more likely to be the highest number? OKC losses this playoff or Rory McIlroy major wins this year?
Oh, gosh. Higher number will be Oklahoma City losses in the playoffs. I mean, seriously. It's a good question. As you know, Rory's going for back-to-back majors this very week. PGA Championship, friends at ESPN, checking it out. Lots to talk about. It's happening, round number 1 as we speak. So, yeah, I'll go Oklahoma City losses in the playoffs. Don't you think that the Spurs are going to give them a series? And then the Knicks could be able to take a couple games from them?
I think any one of the teams left has a great probability.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Even Cleveland?
I tell you, I said this about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, high register.
I admit, I didn't watch a whole lot of Cleveland games this year. But as the playoffs have gone and I've watched this team play, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, man.
Yeah.
It's a Harden factor, right?
Yes.
He's got to do it in one of these next 2 games for his legacy. To get everybody off
well,
of
then
his
he'll be
back.
in Madison Square Garden for an Eastern Conference Finals as the road team in the entire series. So
Yeah, but I think James Harden is looked at as one of the top, greatest
I agree.
scorers, obviously, and
I
players.
agree.
But he has this thing that when the moment's there, he does not step up. He's got a chance to rewrite his own history.
I'll go Oklahoma City.
How many times has he let you down that you're still like even?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I'm not necessarily I've been beat down too much.
Oh, yeah.
Repeatedly by
yeah,
James
I'm
Harden.
hurt.
Right.
But because I had it with the Clippers and the Sixers.
Yeah.
I'm just saying for James Harden, he needs to come through in a huge way.
Yeah. Speaking, I mean, you would know, again, being a Clipper and a Sixer fan and a man who also has the same beard.